Welcome in, everybody. I'm very excited for today. Um, we'll give people a minute or couple of minutes to join us. As we wait, if you all want to write in the chat where you're joining us from, that would be a lot of fun. Hi, Robin. It's nice to see that you've joined. Anna is very, very happy to work with you or to talk with you. One of my team members she messaged me, I think it was this week, maybe last week, that you had sent Anna a message. It's very happy. Hello, hello. Couple of Texas people. I'm a Texas person. I'm from Texas, so it's nice to see so many faces, so many names, new names too. I'm excited to. Oh, that's sweet, Robin. I love to see that. It's a great way to teach about Anna. Um, okay, I think we can wait a little bit longer. Maybe we'll start 12:03 Central, 1:03 Eastern. We have a very fun agenda today. Okay. Well, for everyone who's joined recently, we were just kind of doing a fun activity, writing in the chat where you're joining us from. I'd like to get to know which partners I'm getting to talk to today. Um, but we'll go ahead and get started because we have a busy agenda. So, without further ado, this is Anna in action, preparing for a successful school year. So, very excited to share some of the fun things that we have going on this school year on the Anna front. So, today, just a little brief agenda of what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about the student success team. So, I'll kind of tell you about what our Anna team, who we are, what we do. We'll do a brief reflection of Anna over the years and how Anna has evolved. Then a very exciting introduction to what we are calling our Anna messaging hub. Following the introduction, we'll walk through each page that's included in the hub and transition into how all of that ties into Anna and supporting student retention efforts, and then end with a few next steps and questions. So let's go ahead and get started. An introduction to myself. My name is Addie, and I am the manager of the support team at Upswing. So the support team has kind of two parts. We have student support on one side, which is Anna, and then the other side is our user technical support. So we have Anna and Charlie. Um, so that's the support team. Um, I grew up in Houston, Texas, and I went to UT Austin and got my bachelor's degree in public health. And then I got my master's degree also in public health from UT School of Health Sciences, specifically the Brownsville location. If anyone knows where the Rio Grande Valley is, that's where I was for my graduate studies. And I joined Upswing while I was there in graduate school, um, almost 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years next month, but I joined as a struggling student myself, and that is one of my favorite things about my history here at Upswing. As I was going into my final semester during COVID, so everything went to online. I had a hard time just struggling a bit, and was just I saw Upswing. I was so excited to apply because I said that is exactly what I need. And so it's really cool to see how this has blossomed into such an amazing career for me. Moving on, this is the student success team. So on the right, you'll see our little pictures. I have myself, and then you have Zoe. Zoe is a student success advocate, or Anna, and then Maya is our other student success advocate. So Anna is the three of us, and we're small but very mighty. And our responsibilities include, not limited to, but include managing Anna year round. So this means creating, writing all of the message plans, making sure our message plans work for each institution that we work with. So, you know, including partner information in every message. The student success team also supports students directly by responding to them as Anna. So Anna has two-way conversations with students when students reach out. We're here, our student success team is here to respond to their questions or share resources or tell them a joke, whatever a student may need that day. Another very important responsibility that our team has is to escalate sensitive conversations to our administrators. So those can range in severity, but they're definitely a very important aspect of ANA. Aside from just our year-round management, we also review and interpret ANA data. So looking at campaigns that we've sent, engagement rates, trying to have a deeper understanding of students' needs, because those are ever changing, understanding what send time works, what resources we should send in September versus November, all of that. And lastly here, we also, as being part of the student success team, as fostering student success, we have to ensure that we are up to date on everything higher ed. So, as you all are very aware, that is changing a lot right now. So, definitely having to do a lot of research, but making sure that we are up to date on how needs are changing, access to resources is changing, FAFSA, all of that. So, that's a bit about our student success team. So let's reflect on Anna over the years. So as I mentioned, I joined Upswing almost 4 years ago. So this will be my fourth academic year of launching Anna, which means I've seen a lot. And I've definitely noticed how Anna has changed and evolved over the past years. And if you've worked with us and if you've used Anna, so you've probably seen how these changes have come about. But to kind of reflect, when Anna first was created in 2020. Anna really served as a so Anna's purpose was to really act as just provide students with support that they needed during COVID. A lot of schools had to transition to fully online learning, which was a challenge, I'm sure, for every institution, but it's also very challenging for students. So access to resources was different. It was very easy for students to lose motivation, or just not know what to do any given day. And so Anna was there to help with that. And as COVID kind of changed, I would like to say, so did Anna. And so as we went into 2022, 2023, we Anna's messaging evolved a bit to emphasize a bit more about mental health and wellness, not placing less of an import or less messages about academic support, encouragement, or reminders. We started introducing some more mental health focused messaging as well as financial aid. And then kind of looking back at 2024 to 2025, we've really, where Anna has grown a lot is in supporting the whole student and in providing students with information about a large variety of resources. So in addition to academic support and mental health support, there's a big emphasis that we place on Anna's ability to share information about food resources, affordable housing, um, how to budget, how to find scholarships, and um, all of these different things, different areas of support that students need, especially now as resource access has changed, and will continue to probably change. So, in addition to that, Anna also, where we've kind of evolved is we really want to ensure that Anna is acting as a liaison between your students and your your campus. So we want to really assist in the connection that you have with your students as an administrator. And that can be done through our escalations, but also just by supporting, um, by sharing important, events happening or new offices opening on campus, or just you have a new food pantry. Well, Anna's here to showcase that to your students. So we really want to grow in that area, um, so that we can build this kind of community of student support. Okay, so how does that translate into the on a launch process for this academic year? Well, we have some exciting things to share. Um, Introducing the Anna Messaging Hub. So as 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 we were preparing for this academic year, we reflected a bit on the on a launch process last year and the years prior, and had a few things to think about as we were preparing for this year. We know that because Anna is sharing more information about different resources, there are more tasks, if you will. There's a bit more involvement than maybe there was in 2020 or 2021. And that involvement, while it can seem daunting, it's what really allows Anna to have as much of an impact as Anna can. So if you used Anna last year, you kind of remember that we shared many links. We had many different systems. There were different forms, Google Sheet. It was it was a little bit, um, busy, if you will. So when we when we were thinking about this year, one of the biggest things that we wanted to do on our team was make that process easier. So we decided that what we would do is create just a central place for all of your Ana content, and all of your tasks related to Ana launching. We Our intention here was we wanted to streamline the process, make the process easier for you all, while not losing any impact. Because while it would be great if we just had one task for launching Ana, that does indirectly mean that maybe we're not able to support students on the deeper level that we can with a little bit more involvement. So this is the homepage of the hub. We'll get into each page throughout this presentation, but to access your hub, it will be one single website that your hero will share with you. In addition to that, um, all of the content, your message plan, your flex messages, your escalation matrix, that's all password protected. And we do that so that it can't be accessed by anybody on the internet. But we've created the password is the same for everything. So once you have the password, you'll be able to access every bit of Ana content included in your hub. So let's go ahead and just dive in page by page. We'll start with the message plan. Um, so at the top, I've kind of provided like what this looks like. At the top of the messaging hub is a navigation bar where you'll see the different pages. So the first page that we're looking at right now is the message plan page. And on this page, you'll be able to see your message plan that we've created for your institution. So the message plan is comprised of messages of different types. So we have reminders about upcoming deadlines for advising and registration. We have encouragement. We share helpful resources related to academics or career services or financial aid, scholarships, things like that. And lastly, the other main type of message that we usually send is a check-in. So we send check-in messages in the middle of the semester and at the end of the semester. And this allows us to really understand how your students are feeling and provide students with resources they may need depending on how they're feeling. So to review each message in your message plan on your hub, all you'll have to do is scroll through the list of messages on the left side, like as you can see here, and you'll be able to see the send date that we have scheduled for that message. You'll be able to read through the message body and see Anna's responses to each choice within that message. So you're able to see a lot of information about each message. You'll also see you'll see the approval status and the adjustment status. So as you can see here, the message is adjusted, meaning it has information about your institution, but it's pending feedback and approval. So yeah, what does feedback and approval look like in the messaging hub? Well, this is the message plan feedback form. Um, one on your message plan page below the message plan, you'll find the message plan feedback form. So it's all in one place. And within this form, you have two options of how you could start the form. You can either approve your message plan um, fully, and this means that you have no changes to the messages in the plan that or no feedback. There's no message you want to change. Everything looks good to go. All done, approved, easy peasy. However, your feedback is very valuable to us and our team. And so within this form, you're also able to provide us with feedback. So feedback can be changes to the actual wording that you'd like to make. It can be changing the date you'd like for us to send the message. So if we have your first message scheduled to go out on August 23rd, maybe August 23rd, but you want to wait until the 27th, we can do that. Um, we can do that using this form. So whenever you provide us with message plan feedback by selecting that you want to request a change, you'll then be prompted to select the message within your plan you want to change. So it it's a little bit easier, I think, to just be able to say, I want to change this message. And then you can tell us the changes you'd like to make, and we'll receive your feedback and we'll implement those changes within 2 business days. So that's on a message plan review and feedback. Let's transition into the Flex Messages page of your on a messaging hub. So before we get into it, let's talk about what Flex Messages are and the purpose that they serve. So Flex Messages these are another item, I guess, of Anna that have evolved over time. Um, Before, maybe 2 years ago, Flex Messages were just messages that you guys would write and send to us, and we'd put them in the message plan. Flex Messages now are a bit of both. Um, we love writing messages. We love talking to students. And there's not enough room in a message plan for us to put all of the messages that we want to, um, all of the information we want to share with students. So instead, what we do is we create a Flex Message template bank. And this Flex Message bank has maybe about 20 messages ranging of covering different topics. So they can be reminders about deadlines or reminders about information on campus. They can be sharing academic resources at your school or in your available through your institution. Um, Success tips that have been written by us from just knowing, understanding a bit about what students experience. Um, or they could just be bits of encouragement. So if you want to tell your students, hey, I hope you have a wonderful day. Here's a great quote from Martin Luther King, just to brighten your day. That's what Flex Messages can do. Um, so on the Flex Messages page in your hub, you'll be able to see that bank. And similar to your message plan review, you can scroll through the list of messages and read the body of the message and the responses that students would receive when they select an option. Um, so Flex Messages really, the value that I see with them is they really allow for you as an administrator to add more personalization to Anna for your students. So there's no one that knows your students better than you, really. Um, and Flex Messages give you the kind of power to decide how Anna should communicate with your students, and give you that agency, if you will, to add a message or add multiple messages that align with your goals for Anna communication. Um, so below this Flex Message bank, you will find the Flex Message request form. Within this form, again, you'll have 2 options here. You can select from one of Upswing's templates that you can find in the Flex Message bank, or you can elect to write your own. But if you were to select from one of our templates, similar to how you select a message to provide feedback on, you'll choose from the list of messages and submit and select the date that you would like for us to send the message, submit the form, and it's that easy. We'll get that added to your plan. Now, if you want to write your own Flex Messages, you can also do that with the Flex Message request form. So the information that we would need if you wanted to write your own messages would be just a brief title, the body of the message, so what you would like for us to share. The population, now this is most of the time, this is going to be all of your students, but if there is a subset that you want us to message, we can do that. We would just need to have that group of students clearly defined for us. And then the send date. So um, flex messages, reasons or admins in the past have written their own flex messages to serve many different purposes. Maybe you want to showcase a new resource on campus. I used the example earlier about a food pantry. This is one that I've seen in the past. Maybe you want to share an event that's coming up. Um, you want to give students an encouragement during homecoming week. These are all great reasons to use flex messages. They really do allow for a kind of deeper level of connection between Anna and your students with good real time like information specific to your institution. Okay, now we're continuing onward. Um, Next to flex messages at the top, you'll see the FAQs and Hey on a Tree page. So, an introduction to the FAQs and Hey on a Tree page. One way that our student success team is able to support students is by conducting a lot of research about the institutions that we work with. And we, with our research, we develop a knowledge base of questions that students may ask Anna about your institution. And this is another area that has grown a lot over the past years. But these FAQs, they can they can get very granular, but there's no question a student won't ask Anna, and we want to make sure that we are equipped to answer anytime a student does have a question. So this is kind of what the FAQs look like. You'll see the list of questions kind of grouped by category on the left side of the FAQ page, where you can click into the question and see the response that we've written, as well as the link that we share with students and all of that. So um, something to keep in mind, if you see this little red tick on one of the FAQs, this is us requesting your input because we are not able to find the answer. Another thing that you'll see on the FAQ and Hey on a Tree page is the Hey on a Tree that we have for your institution. And what this is just a automated response that students will receive whenever they message Hey Anna. This allows for Anna to provide a kind of 24/7 support because it's we hope that it answers almost any question that a student may ask, and they can receive this anytime, any day, or any hour, whenever. All they have to do is message Hey Anna. So if you're noticing a pattern, it's because there is one. At the bottom of the FAQs and Hey on a Tree page, you will find the FAQ and Hey on a Tree feedback form. Um, with this form, you'll be able to provide either your approval or your feedback on the FAQ or the Hey on a Tree. Now, this form is a really great way for you to either help us answer questions that we couldn't find the answers ourselves, or kind of guide us in like phrasing you would like for us to use in your Hey on a Tree, or correct information that we may have incorrect. Um, all of those things. It's a great way for you you to allow to help us make sure that we're sharing correct information with your students. Okay, last part of the Anna Messaging Hub is the escalation matrix page. So Anna escalations are a very, very important part of Anna's impact on students' success and student retention. Essentially, with an Anna escalation, for those who aren't aware of on escalations, what these are conversations that our student success team has with students that we flag as, okay, Anna is not able to help the student with this anymore. We need to get an admin involved. We need to get someone on campus involved to help the student. And escalations can range in severity, have, you know, very urgent escalations where a student may be at risk of their safety, or we can just have that a student is needing a level of assistance that a greater level of assistance. Maybe they're not able to reach their advisor or their professor, something like this. So on the escalation matrix page, you'll be able to see your current escalation matrix. And this is based on how the escalation or the context you've provided with us in the past. If you're new on a partner, you won't see any contacts listed here, but we'll get into that next. Um, Additionally, within the escalation matrix, you'll be able to click into each contact to view their contact information. And this is just an important part. If we don't have the correct email or phone number, that does cause hiccups in the escalation process. So, as with the other pages, there is a form at the bottom of this page. Um, but the on escalation form is a way for you to either approve your escalation matrix. And what this means is the current escalation matrix we have on file is everything is good. The contacts are correct. Phone numbers are correct. Great, approved. However, if you've had any personnel changes, you may need to make some updates and you can use this form to do so. So you're able to update the information about a contact listed in the matrix. You're able to delete a contact, add someone new. You can also change your phone call policy for urgent escalations. So if you'd like to only receive emails for urgent escalations, you can choose to do so. The last kind of thing that you can do with this form is you can, if you look at the top of the form over here on the page, you can see that there is a hyperlink for the escalation matrix template. So if you're a new partner or if you've had a lot of personnel changes, you may just want to start with a new template and fill it all in all over again. These links allow for you to do so, and you can actually just submit the attachment of your escalation matrix using the form at the bottom of this page. Okay, so that was a lot. Let's do a quick recap. Um, so far in the Anna Messaging Hub, we've talked about the message plan page, Flex messages, FAQs and Heyonotree, and the escalation matrix. Um, while this is a lot, we have created the homepage is meant to serve as just a easy place for you to go and review all of these tasks in one little checklist. So on your homepage, you'll find your on a launch checklist. This details each task related to on a launches, um, and if it's a required task, recommended, or just optional. So as we look towards the academic year, there are only a few tasks that are absolutely required in order to launch ANA, and that's approval of the message plan and review and approval of your escalation matrix, and then providing us with the list of students that should receive messages. Additionally, in this checklist, you'll also see the deadlines that we have set for your institution. These are different based on every institution because of when you start school. Um, so your scheduled on a launch date is very dependent on your academic calendar, and so are the deadlines that we have set. But once you have access to your messaging hub, you'll be able to see what your deadlines are. Okay. And we're going to do a brief transition into Anna's role in retention and how this all ties in together with Anna launches and all of these tasks. So, where Anna can really have the most impact is in those conversations with students, in providing resources, connecting students to the help that they need when they need it. And when we look at the Anna launch process, while it may seem daunting that all of these tasks exist, and you have all of the FAQs and the message plan review and flex messages, but the a foundation, important part, important foundation, I guess, of Anna's success is building trust with students. And in my time here as Anna, what I've come to find is to build trust with students, you have to provide them with information that actually helps them. Um, and what better, a very important way or a need, if you will, for Anna to be able to provide students with information that helps them is this collaborative effort that we can have between the student success team and our administrators. So, what that looks like in practice is reading through the FAQs and providing feedback on, one item that we couldn't find any information about, or reviewing the message plan and noticing that we have the wrong phone number listed in one of the messages, or submitting a flex message request to highlight an office on your campus that opened, that we wouldn't have any knowledge about if it weren't for you guys. So that's a very important aspect of Anna's role in retention. And the other, which we've kind of already addressed, is that liaison role. So escalations, we Anna through Anna escalations, we're able to connect you with students that are at risk. And when with a with an escalation matrix that has contacts listed for these different offices, that supports Anna's ability, or our ability, to connect students with the person that can help in a more streamlined, um, way, right? Kind of also allows for administrators to triage. So we really highly recommend taking a look at the escalation matrix and talking with colleagues, talking with other offices on campus to make sure that, or to support Anna escalations, if you will. Um, okay, so next steps. Following this workshop, your hero will share your Anna messaging hub and password with you. So once you receive the link to your hub, feel free to please poke around. Please look at everything. Again, you will have a password that you'll be able to use for everything in the messaging hub. Um, Thankfully, the hub, or the password access caches, or it stays in your browser, so you can navigate away from the window and you won't have to re-enter the password each time unless you clear your cache. So take a look at your messaging hub, look at your on a lunch checklist to see the important dates and deadlines that are relevant for your on a launch. And then as we get closer to your scheduled launch date, that's when we really will need to see, message plan approval coming in, your escalation matrix, and then finally, before we actually launch, before we send our first message, we will want to collect those student lists, so that we can start sending messages to your students. All right. Okay. I had to kind of hurry. I got distracted. I talked a lot, but I am welcoming of all questions if you have any. I know we covered a lot, so um,
Addie, you have two questions in the Q&A.
Oh,
The first one is from Jan. Jan says, we are starting year two. Are the ANA messages the same as the previous year? Can you show again where to add a subset of students for a message?
sure. Thank you for that question. So auto messages are not the same. Well, there's one message that remains somewhat similar, and that's just the intro message. We try to keep that relatively consistent over the years, but the other messages, while they may stay the same in terms of content or structure a bit, um, the actual messages change every year. So we write new messages every semester, really. And then with the subset of students, um, let's see. So if you have a flex message, we'll go back to this. Here we go. Um, if you are submitting a flex message request that you've written yourself, you can write in just the population of students if it isn't all of your students. Let's say you want to send a message to your graduates, students that are graduating that semester. You can go ahead and let us know with your flex message request. However, we will have to uh, be in contact with you to make sure that we have the list of those graduating students so that we can, you know, send the message to them. But this just does allow for some ability to send messages to the smaller populations, but it's we wouldn't within this form you won't upload any student lists if that was part of the question. Um,
Great, thank you. The next question that we have comes from Sherry, and Sherry is asking, how soon will the hero send the ANA messaging hub and password?
Thank you for your question, Sherry. We have all of your Ana messaging hubs created, so we are ready to send them following this webinar or this workshop. We wanted to give an introduction before sending it because I know this is a big change, and with these changes, it, we wanted to kind of not cause any panic. I can understand if you've been with if you've been with us for multiple semesters, this is definitely quite a bit different than previous years. So yes, we will be sharing those with you all. I believe we're sharing them today, but need to confirm that. But we have them scheduled to be sent this afternoon.
Great, thank
And
you. There's one final question, and this comes from Robin. Robin asked, will we still be sending our student list through FileZilla?
that is a great question, Robin. Um, I am not positive about this. I believe so because this is our secure way of sharing student information. However, I would need to check with Mark on this. Mark is um, our technical success engineer. Forget his title, but I believe we would still be using FileZilla. Um, however, okay, then there we go. Yes, yeah. So we will still be having you guys send student lists in a secure method. FileZilla is one way we can do that. Thank you, Ben, for helping with that. Do we have any other questions?
I do not see any other questions in the Q&A, but if anybody has additional questions and would like to post them, we still have a few minutes left and Addie's able to answer your questions. Right. I would say
Thank
you
you.
can close it up, Addie.
All right. I will stop. I should have stopped sharing that. Um, okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us today. I know that on a launch season can be quite daunting, but I think that, by working together, um, I'm really excited for what we have in store this year. I think that with all of the changes that are happening in the higher ed space, this is Anna's really needed now more than ever. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for, you know, being excited to use Anna. We appreciate you all. And yeah, let's kick off this Anna launch season.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.